Well, welcome everyone. This is Michael Dotterer, and I'm in sunny Southern California, and we are here for the Steph Dot Show every Thursday at 4 p.m. We're a little bit late because we were trying to figure out the mute button, so we figured it out. And this is the Steph Dot Show, brought to you by Nirvana Gold Rush, and this show is dedicated to Stephanie's father, RD, and she knows her dad better than I do. I got a chance to get to know him briefly. Amazing man, amazing energy, and he is now up there with my father, because my father passed away about 20 years ago. And RD, is just, he was quite a character and just a great person. And Stephanie, who knows her father better than anyone, Stephanie's back in New Jersey, where her father lived in Atlantic City. So without further ado, Stephanie, you want to talk about your dad? And we're dedicating this show to him.
Thank you, Michael. It's super sweet of you to do so. As you know, my dad thoroughly enjoyed you, and he loved the fact that you were a Raider fan, right? As a Philadelphia Eagle, that was hard for him to like you, but he did. Here he is right here. That's my dad. Like I said, my dad, born in Michigan, raised in California, moved back to the Atlantic coast 40 years ago, and became a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And in fact, I have his sweatshirt. Makes me sad, but you know what? He's in a better place. And again, thank you, Michael, for doing this today.
Well, thank Nirvana Gold Rush. That's what brought us together. And, your father, not only did he love the Eagles, but he understood cannabis.
He totally understood cannabis. And what's really cool is I was able to bring back some of our product to my dad, which lent a lot of relief to his neuropathy and his ailments that he was having from all the chemo treatments that he was getting. So he was a huge fan of Nirvana Gold Rush. As you know, he's a member as well. But he was so excited to bring it back to New Jersey for his buddies, Just need to get it legalized.
Well, I think I've heard the New Jersey governor, he was elected a year or two ago, and he said that when he was going to get elected, he was going to get it done in the first 100 days, and then he realized probably the pharmaceutical companies or someone was pushing back. Yeah. So he said he's going to take it to the people, and I've heard 70% of the population in New Jersey is, they don't want their population to drive to Massachusetts,
exactly,
Vermont, Maine. They want to keep the revenue in New Jersey. So it will be passed in November, and a lot of other states.
Yeah, 100% of who I've spoken to, they want it passed 100%. So it'll happen.
Yeah. So your father was ahead of his time. He knew about cannabis. He loved sports.
Yep.
And he loved his Eagles. What brought him to the Eagles?
Well, honestly, what's the color of cannabis?
Oh, green, right? The green gold rush.
Swear to God. Whatever. But that is the initial reason. He's like a girl, right? He liked the color of the team.
Right. But, and they do have the Eagles, and they're coming off a couple years ago. They won their first Super Bowl.
I know. No, they're a strong team. But here on the East Coast, you have the Giants, the Jets, Philly. you got a lot of strong players or teams. But we got to talk about Carson Wentz, right?
Yeah. Well, I went to the Philadelphia Eagles website, and Carson Wentz today gave a press conference talking about what's going on across the whole landscape of professional athletics here in the United States. The players are they're really concerned about what's going on, on our streets.
Right.
And Carson he addressed that. He talked about how, he grew up in North Dakota. He went to school in North Dakota. And he said, he was not exposed to a lot of the things that kids maybe that grow up in the inner city are exposed to. So he's had to educate himself on some of the social tension that's going on. I will say this though, in my humble opinion, I really believe and I'm just going to come out and say it, I am not happy with the media because I think they focus on terrible things.
Totally.
And people out there think, oh, the sky's falling, and it's not. I mean, there are things, unfortunately, around the world that are terrible,
right?
But it's a small percentage,
right?
And people need to say that most people, they're not racist. Most people care about their neighbors, and what's going on is not happening everywhere.
Right.
And the media, I implore the leaders of the media to please not sensationalize the news.
I so agree with you, Michael.
Yeah. And I just think, that I blame the media for a lot of what's going on, because people will watch and they'll think, oh my gosh, this is happening everywhere. It's not.
No.
It's not happening everywhere. And most people, love their neighbor. It doesn't matter what the color of their skin, their ethnicity, their religion, their, their sexuality. Doesn't matter. Most people, they just, they care about one another. So these incidents that are happening, if we took a camera and went around the world and focused on terrible things, we would have a problem. And that's what's going on. And so I would say to the media, instead of sensationalizing the news and just focusing on terrible things, focus on the good stuff.
Yes. I agree.
And I feel bad for the athletes today, because all of them are being brought into politics. And unfortunately, people are going to turn the television off. They're going to start turning off the television. And that's not to say that we don't have problems, but it's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. There's just no way. I mean, I look around, I don't see riots.
Right. Me neither. And I've been in California, Detroit, Utah, and hang on. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's my sister. Hey, Christy, can I call you back?
Okay.
Well, okay, Christy, I'm on a can you guys just give me 1 second?
Sure, no worries.
So sorry.
So what we're talking about here is again, this country, United States, is a great nation. We have wonderful people, and we should start to be civil with one another. That's really important. That be your brother's or sister's keeper. Do unto others as you'd want to do unto yourself. I mean, the golden rule. And 99.9% of the population is like that. There are people that aren't, and the camera's focusing on the negative. And I'm very optimistic. I think we're gonna be fine, and we need to calm people down. It's not the end of the world. This is not a video game. Again, just look around when you start to think, oh my gosh, everything. We'll go to the store and look at people when they're smiling and waving hello. And again, I'm not trying to be Pollyannish, and I'm not trying to say that there's no problems, but for those athletes out there right now that are being dragged into politics, I would be very careful and basically say, hey, we just need to love one another, respect one another, and you guys come to the games to watch me play, because that's why I'm here to entertain you. It's entertainment. It's not. It shouldn't be political. Now there's freedom of speech. People can get up and talk about whatever they want, and that's what makes America great. And all the developed nations in the world, or democracies, we should say, you can speak your mind. But advice to those athletes out there. Keep it short and simple and say, hey, I love everyone. I love my fans. And, I respect what other people say. But recognize that people are watching you, not because you're a politician, but because you can dunk a basketball, or you can throw a football, or you can, hit a baseball. That's why they're watching you, not because you went into politics. So what are your thoughts, Steph?
I got to tell you, I miss sports so badly. I mean, I feel terrible for these athletes that have, like put themselves through so much physical work, mental work to be at the level that they're at now. And they're being forced to not play, one. Two, they're now being forced into politics, like you just said, which they didn't sign up to be politicians. They didn't sign up to tell you their personal values. They signed up to play ball, football, baseball, basketball,
Hockey.
they're entertainment for us. I watch ESPN and I'm like, woo, it's so fun, right? These days it's depressing because nobody can say anything about anything because there's nothing going on.
Well, I think it's going to end quick. I mean, I believe, well, everything is going to probably change come November 3rd. So
yes.
We don't even want to go there. But the bottom line is just the message for everyone, I think, Steph, is just recognize we got a great country here in America. Mm-hmm. Great people, 99.999% of people are good people.
Yes.
And for a very small percentage, there's terrible things that happen. If we focus on that and think that that's what's happening everywhere, then we really got a problem. So let's just focus on the good stuff and solve those issues that need to be solved. It doesn't mean that we don't have to worry about it. But my message to the athletes are get back to the court, focus on that. You can certainly say whatever you want to say, and you can do whatever you want to say. I mean, that's when Colin Kaepernick first took a knee and they asked me, whatever had happened years ago, I was on some news program and I said, hey, that's the beauty of being, First Amendment and being in the United States is you can do that. So I was all for him doing whatever he wanted to do.
Too.
But now it's gotten to the point where, I think they're blowing it out of proportion. And I understand, again, we could come up with other cases. We could talk about people dying every day.
Yeah.
And it is a tragedy. There's no question about it. No doubt. We need to solve those problems. I'm not dismissing it. But to bring all the athletes into the political arena.
Not fair.
Not fair. And again, I think a lot of these issues will be solved on November 3rd.
I agree. Well, okay, so tell me, you saw Wentz today. How does he feel about the teams across the board holding out, not playing in their scheduled games?
Well, I think it's a statement, and it's solidarity, and he was very good. I mean, he handled it I was watching him. I watched part of his press conference, and he handled it outstanding. I just feel bad that they're, being brought into, into politics. But again, Muhammad Ali was brought into it during the Vietnam War, and he had a press conference, and the press conference was, I'm not going to join the army. And looking back, people admired him for what he did.
Right.
But he wanted to keep fighting. I think they banned him for 3 years. I think it was 3 years he couldn't fight.
Yeah. But, I think you're right.
Again, when you get on the, whatever your sport is, you got to know who you are, and you're in the entertainment industry. People are watching you because you can do some athletic feat better than most people, and people like to watch. It's like the circuit, it's entertainment. And
it is.
And when I see the athletes being pulled into politics, I feel bad for them. I really do. And I hope they don't feel like they have to. I mean, he can make a statement and then get back to what they're good at. Because if they don't, I mean, from what I've heard from people I've talked to, people are saying, well, you know what, if they're going to talk politics, we're not going to watch it. So,
I know. Question. So is it the government pulling them in, or is it the sensationalism of our media that's pulling athletes in?
I would say the sensationalism of the media. The media is, it's just, I don't think they're not having these issues in Europe. In Europe, they have a different, the BBC and the Germans, and I'm not saying it's better,
Right.
But I just think news media, if you look at the Canadian broadcast system, you look at the BBC, and you look at, the networks here where you've got Fox, you've got MSNBC, CNN, those are the three biggies.
Yeah.
I turn it on and they just, all of them, they just focus on the negative. And they, because of that, I mean, people are, and I think because of the pandemic, a lot of people are, they watch the news.
Right.
And again, I'm not discounting all of these things that happen are horrific.
Yeah.
But they're not. It's not the end of the world, and they're gonna in all of those terrible tragedies where people are shot and there's tension. Those communities are going to deal with it. There's no question about it. There's too many great people in all those communities that care about people.
Absolutely.
But to say that the sky's falling and we're going to stop playing and again being dragged into politics, I just feel for all of them. I really do.
Yeah. I started watching. I love HBO Hard Knocks.
Yes.
So this year, or right now, it's the LA Rams, right? And it's like sad. These guys, they thrive off the audience, right? They thrive off the fans. Can you imagine? I mean, Michael, you played. How would you be reacting to all of this?
Well, I'm looking for leadership for maybe what if I were recommending, I would have a spokesperson for each team. And just like you have an NFL players rep or you have a major league play, every team has a spokesperson. And you make a statement and you just say, our hearts go out to the community of Kenosha, Wisconsin, or Minneapolis, Minnesota. You make one statement.
Yeah.
And then get back to playing.
And done. Right.
Yeah. But I think a lot of these young men and women,
yes,
a lot of these professional athletes, I don't think they're getting good advice from their agents. I just think that they're missing the mark. And the tail of it is the Nielsen ratings. When you start to see, people turning off the set. If they start turning off the set, then
we're in trouble.
Well, we're not in trouble. Those athletes that are making the big bucks, they're going to say, "What just happened?"
Right.
So I think they're aware of it, and I think the agents who represent these athletes need to say, "Hey, guys and gals, get one." Like as I said, Muhammad Ali had a press conference. He had one big press conference, and
didn't he have a bunch of athletes standing behind him? For him?
He had one press conference, and they made a statement. But that was, and again, that was before, so there was no social media back then. So it's a different landscape, and everyone wants to speak their voice, but really you need to organize. Each team needs to have a spokesperson. And when something tragic happens that the team wants to be said, that spokesperson can make a statement. But I would say, it should be feeling compassion and empathy for whatever community is going through difficulty.
Totally.
And we send our hearts and our prayers to you. And now we're going to go back to the game.
Totally.
It doesn't mean that we don't care.
Right.
But to have every team, go ahead.
I say Dot for commissioner. Whoop, whoop.
Well, you never know. I know. Well, you know what? Actually, Nirvana Gold Rush, I'll tell you, Steph, we met through Nirvana Gold Rush, and we're on this show, the Steph Dot Show, because of Nirvana Gold Rush. What a blessing, because Nirvana Gold Rush is not only fun, but we're positioned to help millions of people understand the benefits of cannabis and rethinking cannabis. There's so many people that need, that there's a lot of stress and anxiety out there, and cannabis is the best product, in my opinion, for stress and anxiety.
Listen, sorry to interrupt, but this has been a rough couple of weeks with my dad's surprise passing. And again, I kind of mentioned how the salve, the roll-on, helped with his neuropathy on his feet. For me, I'm so stressed out I can't sleep. So I'm taking the sleep tincture. When I wake up in the morning, I'm groggy, I'm depressed, I'm sad. So I'm taking the fresh, and it's helping me kind of cope, to be honest. Thank God.
Yeah, I agree. Today I kind of woke up, I wasn't feeling really good, and I had my vape, And, you know, I've never vaped before.
Right.
I took it in, it's the Relax vape. I took a little vape.
Yeah.
And I feel fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I hear you. Listen, thank God. I mean, not only am I happy to be like a part of your life, and I thank Nirvana for introducing us, but the product is no joke. It is a physical reliever, not meant to cure anything, but it's a physical pain reliever and an emotional relaxant, I guess, you know? So thank God. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Virginia. Mwah.
Yeah, and just to let you know, again, Steph, this has been fantastic. This show is dedicated to your father. And I'd like to have you say the last few words, and we'll be back on again. We'll be back on the next Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And this portion of the Steph Dot Show again has been brought to you by Nirvana Gold Rush. And there's a little ticker tape you can see down there. It's you can see the information if you want to know more about us.
Log on.
And you can text or email or private message Steph or myself. And so that's Steph. You get the last word, because this again was this show dedicated to your father.
I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but you know what? Just go home, hug your loved ones. Don't skip a beat by telling people that you love them. And please be kind. Just be kind, people. I'm kind of at a loss for words, to be honest. I knew you were going to ask me this or give me the opportunity, and I'm a little, I don't know, overwhelmed. Thank you, Michael, for putting a smile on my dad's face. You certainly made him laugh a lot. And you're a great guy. And Nirvana Gold Rush family, thank you for all your support as well. I can't wait to get back to Cali. Love you guys.
Thank you, Steph. And we send you lots of love from California, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Love you, and love to everyone out there.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.